So of course, you'll need to use your notes to help you. So if it's a conversation, think about why did the student go to see the professor? If it's a lecture, think about why the professor is giving the lecture. All right, so that's basically think about why. And step 4 is to choose the answer that best describes the main reason. Again, focus on the main reason for why. So finally, once the answer options appear, then we can go through them. Let's do that now. To get a list of readings for the semester, to ask if a concept will appear on the test, to review lecture material from the previous week, or to understand the distinction between two concepts. So I can see most of you have already chosen the correct answer. Well done, you guys. Like I said, all the answer options will have been discussed. You've probably heard them, but there's only one main reason. And usually this is mentioned during, like at the beginning of the lecture conversation. There we go. 4, that's right, you guys. Well done, all of you. Someone said 2 to ask if a concept will appear on the test. She says, I am having trouble preparing for the test because I don't understand the distinction between the two. She did not ask if the concept will appear on the test. Okay, that's very different. So to understand the distinction between the two concepts, I think it was market segmentation and target marketing. Yeah. All right, now let's practice. Again, I'm going to play this. You tell me whether it's a lecture or conversation. I'm going to play it for you. I want you to take notes and then I'll show you the question. All right, here we go.
Our mission is to build a detailed, realistic computer model of the human brain, and we've done, in the past 4 years, a proof of concept on a small part of the rodent brain. And with this proof of concept, we're now scaling the project up to model the human brain. So why are we doing this? Well, there are 3 important reasons. The first is it's essential for us to understand the human brain if we want to get along in society. And I think that this is a key step in evolution. The second reason is we can't keep doing animal experimentation forever, and we have to incorporate all of our data and all of our knowledge into a working model. It's like a Noah's Ark. It's like an archive. And the third reason is that there are 2 billion people on the planet that are affected by mental disorders, and the drugs that are used today are largely empirical. With a realistic model of the human brain, I think that we can come up with a very concrete solution to treat disorders. Our mission is to...
What is the main purpose of the lecture?
Our mission...
Sorry about that. Well done, you guys. I can see most of you got this one right. Almost all of you, actually. Well done. It is 2, justifying the need to build a realistic model of the human brain. Stefan says same. I don't know what you mean by same, but okay. So yeah, well done. I think someone said 1, describing how to make a computer model of a rodent brain. He didn't do that. He just said that they made it. He didn't really describe how they did it. And his whole lecture was an argument for building a realistic model of the human brain. Okay. All right. So if you, again, you have access to the recordings and you can go back and listen to the lecture again. I recommend that you do that. Now, before we do the last one, let's quickly review the method. First, you need to listen to the audio and take notes. Then you need to read the question. Don't read the answer options. Think about why the conversation or the lecture is taking place. Again, in an overall sense, why is it taking place? Then choose the answer that best describes the main reason. Okay, let's do one final lecture. Here we go.
The World Wildlife Fund recently published a report showing that in the last 40 years, we have slashed our global marine life in half. Fish numbers are seriously declining, and fishing is no longer sustainable. At the same time, our human population keeps growing, putting more pressure on the oceans. Today, we have 7 billion people on the planet, and by 2050, there will be 9.7 billion of us. Now, let's back up for a moment and talk about why fish is an important food choice for humans. It's healthy, it prevents heart disease, provides key amino acids and key fatty acids like omega-3s, which is very different from almost any other type of meat. Currently, 2.6 billion people depend on fish every single day. So our problem is, how can we continue to eat fish when we are increasingly threatening its very existence? Renowned photographer, conservationist and oceanographer Jacques Cousteau proposed a solution more than 50 years ago when he said, "We must start using the ocean as farmers instead of hunters. That's what civilization is all about, farming instead of hunting." And he was right. Today, fish is the last food source that we hunt. All others are farmed. We must move to more sustainable farming of fish.
What is the main purpose of the lecture? All right. Well done, Sarnavar, Erica. Yeah, you both got that right. It is actually 4, to encourage the use of environmentally friendly fishing practices. I can see quite a few of you said 2, to explain why fish is an important food source for humans. Was that the main purpose of the lecture? Was that what he was talking about throughout the lecture, or was it sort of like a digression? So he said that we need to come up with more environmentally friendly fishing practices because fish is important to us, and the reason why it's important is what he says is like, an important food source, and then he lists those reasons. That was not the purpose. His whole argument throughout the lecture was that we are hunting fish, we're not farming them, it's not sustainable, we have to find a better way, so we need to find a more sustainable or an environmentally friendly way to fish. Okay, that was his whole argument. So even though he did discuss why fish is important, why fish is an important food source, that's not why. That's not what the purpose of the lecture was. The purpose was to convince you that we need better fishing practices. All right. Hopefully that made sense. And if you guys want to practice some more, just head over to e2language.com. If you go into the TOEFL course, you'll be able to access hundreds of practice questions. And if you want like a timed simulation of the test, you can try out our mini mock test, which will help you sort of prepare for the test and give you like a real idea for what it'll be like to be in the test center, or if you're taking the real test at home, what the real test feels like. So once you've done the mini mock test, we'll send you a score report with your indicative overall score and also your score for each of the 4 sections. So overall score out of 120 and a score out of 30 for each of the 4 sections. We'll also send you in-depth feedback for your writing and speaking. So we'll tell you what you did well, what you can improve on, and what exactly you need to do to improve those skills. If you still feel like you need more help, you can book a one-on-one tutorial with one of our TOEFL experts. So one-on-one tutorial is a 45-minute session with one of our experts, and you basically decide what you're going to be discussing in that tutorial, and they can go through anything that you're struggling with. It could be grammar, vocabulary, or a certain part of the test, a certain section. So it's up to you what you want to discuss. You can also submit your writing and speaking for feedback. Again, we'll give you a detailed, comprehensive report. We'll tell you what you can do to improve the skills that you kind of need to work on. And we get back to you within 48 hours. At the moment, there are some classes that are free, some that are paid. So if you want to access all the live classes, you will have to upgrade to a paid account. And apart from the live classes, you'll also get access to all the recordings of the live classes, so you can go back and access them whenever you want. We also have a core skills section on the website to help you improve your grammar and vocabulary skills. So make sure you check that out. You can go in and just practice some of your foundational grammar skills. Like I said, you'll have access to all the recordings in the recorded classes section. And if you have any questions about the platform or any tech issues, just write to us at help.etlanguage.com. You'll be able to send a ticket through there, and we'll get back to you within 48 hours again. And now I'm just going to stick around to answer some of your questions. And if you don't have any questions and you need to go, that's fine too. Thank you for joining me today, and all the best for your test. So I remember someone asked about GIST. Yeah, Ruben, you can just put your question in the chat box. So I think someone asked about GIST, how to use GIST in a